All Hundreds.
All right, we're here at the All Hundrxds Podcast. We got Kenneth Slade StreetBall International President, Greensboro, North Carolina.
What up, what up?
Glad you're here, bro.
Glad to be here, man. Glad to be
Appreciate
here.
it, man.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you. We know you got a lot of stuff going on. Hampton Park. You're doing something big for the community, and we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
No doubt.
And, you know, we're gonna get into it, let the people know who you are, and find out more about you.
All right.
Yeah, mainly with the street ball, and break that down. Let us know a little bit more.
Well, first of all, I want to give all praises to God through Jesus. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer, and I can attest to what He has done in my life. You know, just being here on camera and fellowshipping right now is first and foremost. You know what I mean? What I want to speak on. But as far as to answer the question, street ball, to me, it's life, and it always has been. It's been a part of my life ever since I've been a small child growing up right here in Greensboro, White Street, by Carolina Circle Mall. I can remember playing on dirt court. You know, I'm that old, you know what I mean, red clay. But even back then, I didn't know what basketball was going to do as far as that game, how I was going to be able to use that, how God was going to use me and use basketball to affect other people's lives. So I just basically lived my life, man, playing basketball and just enjoying myself. That's really how I came up, you know what I mean?
Nah, I get that. I don't see nothing wrong with that at all.
Right.
Oh, so since you took it and made it such a bigger thing, like, was there a certain inspiration behind that, taking the street ball and then making it with the dream of going international?
Well, first of all, when I was coming up in, like, let's say middle school and on through high school, whatever, I wasn't the person that I am now. See, I went through a lot of BS, for lack of a better term, and not that everybody does it. Every person's BS that they go through is unique to them, excuse me. And mine is no different. My BS was unique to me, you know what I mean? My mother was a drill sergeant. I mean, for real. Like, my mom told other grown men what to do, for real. And that kind of like affects you in school and your peers and your friends. You know, it was a term like, your mama wear combat boots. For me, that was real. Like, my mom wear combat boots. So on an Army base, that's cool. When you're playing on your high school on an Army base, that's cool, because everybody's mom might wear combat boots. But when you step off the military base and you start to play private schools and you start to play public schools, now that means something, because they mama don't wear combat boots. So we're ready to scrap now.
Right.
But you can't, because if you scrap, your parents get in trouble here in this scenario. In this lifestyle we live, you can't just do everything, because your parents get in trouble. It's not private, it's not public. We're held up under a different accord. So coming up like that already is bull.
Okay.
So I use basketball as an outlet, you know, and through God's blessing, you get talented at different things. Some people rap, some people run fast, some people whatever.
Right.
I was able to play basketball. That was my outlet.
So you decided to take that and run with it for real.
Right.
Okay.
So much that I started having too much fun playing because I was too good. But it was an oxymoron, because school didn't really interest me like that. Not what they was kicking.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Tell us some of your basketball background.
Well, I mean, in Killeen, Texas, which was on a Fort Hood, was an Army base, and Ellison High School, we had a good basketball team and all this and all that. But I wasn't able to play because of the bull I was involved with.
Mm-hmm.
Just like right now. See how real it gets?
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all out here in the podcast, y'all might not understand, but in here in the studio we have a situation that's going on, which is bull. But it's the devil trying to prevent the positivity that we got going on, what we about to kick. And I recognize it because now at my age that I'm at, I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
And I can recognize when he tried to throw certain mess in the game.
Oh yeah.
BS.
BS.
But let me tell you something though, The oxymoron of it is you have to live long enough in this world we live in to gain enough experience, enough knowledge to recognize them. Let me say that. Let me say that to those who really is listening and really looking at this podcast and really saying, what is this dude talking about? Feel what I'm ready to say. The problem is, and don't get me wrong, you got certain young ones that are wise. You got certain young men that get it, and they get it early, and they say, oh man, this is what it is. But not enough. The majority of the youngins get caught up in the bull and get caught up in the BS, and their lives are gone. Right now, everybody looking at me on this podcast can say, man, I got a person that died too young in my life. Why come such and such still ain't here? Why did they die so young? A lot of them got caught up in the bull. And so the object is to live here in this mess we call a world, navigate your way, however you do it, long enough to start to recognize the bull. Then you can stay away from it.
Right.
Then you can protect your kids from it. And that's the whole object. And let that spread. Because if you get caught up in the negativity, if you get caught up in the mess, that's the whole game.
True.
Lost.
True.
So I use basketball, I use street ball as a way to break that down to my ones that really don't understand the technical terms, or they don't understand really the logistics. So I just relate it to street ball, because everything relates to street ball. Basketball, street ball is the perfect game that mimics life in every aspect, from your family being your team to the game being life. Everything can correlate directly to street ball.
I think most people get that. I think when you tell them in the way of breaking it down to street ball, I feel like people understands that. Because like you said, a lot of people don't understand when you just tell them life is tough, go through it, fight. You can use a reference like street ball to the ones who especially know what street ball is. You're going to get bumped a little bit. You're going to get pushed around a little bit. Oh yeah, you're going to get splashed.
Foul, ref didn't call none.
Yeah.
Didn't give you ball on game point. You went into your job. You was late. Boss man still got on you. You might even got fired. Do you quit? Do you never play again?
Yeah, I feel like that's a good message.
You know what I'm saying? You just have to.
They all lessons in life.
Man.
Yeah.
They all lessons in life.
Man. And so that's what, like I said, that's what I use. Street ball, basketball, my gift. And I didn't really figure it out until I was in my late 30s. That's why I give my praises to God, because I was able to live my life, and I still 80% am doing that. I was able to live my life like I wanted to in my mess, think about nobody but me for 30 years, just doing me. 3-time world champion. You're looking at a guy that was the best in pickup basketball in the world as far as hoop it up was concerned. Me, some more cats from here. James Riley, shout out to James. Shout out to Sox. You know what I'm saying? That was our thing, was to travel and play pickup basketball. Shout out to my wife. She was with me the whole way. Do what I wanted to do. And that was real semi-pro, because we was getting them checks. Still getting them checks.
Oh, wasn't that free semi-pro? It wasn't that.
Nah, that ain't semi-pro. And see, that's why I want to tell y'all guys, don't get twisted, because see, I was before my time when we didn't have internet, we didn't have microfilm.
Yeah.
Oh God, y'all don't even know what that is. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay, I take it. I was born when I was, so I did my thing. But now is why I be trying to tell y'all, don't go out here and try to be something just to get a title on top of yourself and say, oh, I'm, and then you be mad at me when I correct you. Oh, old school, you don't know. Well, I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for that. I'm here to try to create positivity, not necessarily negativity. You understand what I'm saying? But at any rate, we did our hoop it up thing, played basketball, 3-time world champion. You understand? I did that with the blessing of God. And now I'm coming back able to do a podcast to try to hopefully help some youth, young adults, some men, women come to a better place, a better understanding of who I am, what basketball is, streetball is. You know, what goodness can you do in the world? That's what I'm about putting some goodness in the world. And don't get me wrong, because I know people are already saying whatever. I made my mistakes, still making mistakes. I'm human. Only difference with me is I recognize and have a relationship. That's the only difference. I recognize consciously that I must do some positivity. That's the only difference.
Yep. And spread that message, that's all some people just need to hear.
Yeah.
To like that,
Yeah,
like that fire underneath.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me tell anyone who's looking right now, the Lord love you, I love you. You know what I mean? Just stay in there. Whatever struggle you're going through, you're going to make it. You're going to be all right.
You're going to be all right.
You're going to be all right.